This is Marriages for Grown Folks. Let's go.
All right.
So listen, we're ready tonight. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I was already on fish and spaghetti.
Then I almost
Tonight is part 3 of 5. We've been discussing the ingredients to intimacy. I'm John.
And I'm Brittany.
We've been together
18 years.
This year will be
19.
19 years in June.
It'll be the start of our 19th year in June.
So we always want to tell you that when we start,
Yeah,
what we're talking about has been proven.
it has.
And we look alike, but we're not related. I know y'all been thinking that.
People be wondering.
So we just want to start. We want to jump into it. If this is your first time watching an episode, we want to welcome you. Like it, share it. Do us a favor, hit the share button. Send this to someone. I shout out to my friend Kevin. We've never met in person, but him and his wife left a comment. He and I had met on social media. We have mutual friends in the city, and he said that he was going to check out the vlog, the podcast that we do. And he said, he commented on the last video, on part 2. He said it took him and his wife 3 hours to watch one episode because they kept stopping.
Yes.
To not only just laugh,
Y'all did it the right way. Mm-hmm.
but to have dialogue
on
about
now.
what we were discussing. That's the whole point. I gotta post that comment that he made, but I wanted to shout out Kevin and his wife. I do. You know what? That's why we
Inbox us y'all address. We sending the shirts your way.
I gotta message him. Yes. So shout out to our videographer and editor, DeMarcus Washington. He's behind all of the reels, the clips, the shorts.
Keep us right.
I don't even have an input on what clip he puts out. Now I used to, but man, cut him loose, man. And all,
what he doing?
every part of the episode is good. But
know
I
what he
think we're
doing.
to a point now where people just know, we're gonna come with it.
We are who we are.
So thank you to every person who's liked either on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube that's following the journey with us. More to come. We've got a lot in store this year. We've got a lot on our plate, but we want to make sure that Marriages for Grown Folks gets the attention that it needs because a lot of things are happening. We got to.
Do you hear me? A lot of things.
So we've got people who are shouting us out from Oklahoma, different states, and we are grateful. We did not know. Now, let me tell you this. We're going to start. When I first started wanting to do online content with her, she was like, no. She was kind of dragging her feet. She had attitude, and I'm not the type.
Okay, let me just say this. I didn't have an attitude. However, I am not really huge on social media like that because I really like face-to-face interactions with people. I feel like that's more genuine. And I also spend a lot of time with old people. Old people don't do all of that. But we live in 2026. And this is how a lot of us have to connect now. So I do understand that. And I understand that people want the information that we have.
So
Yeah, you was trying to.
I gave up. Like, all right, this was probably 2023, 2022. 2022.
You gave up when?
Pandemic. I'm talking about us doing it together. I'm still gonna do me. So I gave it up. And she started to bring it up again. So our first episode, we did 5 stages of the relationship.
What I said to him is, if we're going to do this, you got to like come up with the ideas, the topics and everything. And I will come and have a conversation with you.
So we did it. That's true. Our first episode, we recorded it in our room.
In our
if you
bedroom.
go back on the YouTube page and go to the very first Marriages for Grown Folks, we are in our primary bedroom, and the TV
is behind us.
Is
We
reverse.
don't even live in that house no more. But yeah, it is.
First episode, we was in that bedroom sweating, but we
You was
did it.
sweating.
I was hot.
I was comfortable.
So let's get into it tonight. So if this is your first time watching us, hang out with us. We're gonna shoot it straight. There's no other way to shoot it. This is episode or part 3
Oh, 5.
of 5. So the first one we did safety. The second ingredient of intimacy or for intimacy,
Mhm.
we talked about investment.
That's right.
We went down a list of things that speak to safety
Mhm.
and speak to investment in your relationship. Tonight,
Tonight, what we talking about?
I think it's gonna be just as good.
See, he ain't
either.
even told me, y'all.
Come on now, you're a pro. Curiosity. Now they told me when I was in grade school that
Curiosity kills the cat.
killed the cat. And then George Clinton came around and said,
Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat?
Nothing but the dog.
in me.
Dog catcher, dog catcher.
Oh, that's what they say now?
Oh yeah. Why must I be like that? Now I
I
didn't
thought they
understand.
barked. See, okay, never mind. Go
They
ahead.
did that too.
Okay.
Now, now, listen,
Okay. That's what I
I didn't realize when my Aunt Canary was playing that in her Honda Accord what they were talking about until I got older and I understood it better by and by that the cat was not a meow cat, but it was
Go
a cat.
That cat.
And then I went to Greenville, Mississippi, Arcola, Mississippi one summer. My mother left me there for a couple of weeks, and that song, "Here Kitty Kitty," came out, and I thought that they were talking about a feline, but they was really talking about the
They was talking about a feline.
here kitty kitty, here kitty kitty, oh kitty kitty. That song had Mississippi in a chokehold with everybody with the gold teeth and finger waves. Here kitty kitty, kitty kitty kitty. So we're talking about curiosity tonight. Curiosity in your relationship as an ingredient to build intimacy. So it's safety, investment, curiosity, engagement, and time. We thought we were going to get through all 5 of these in one setting. So it's a novel. So take notes, charge your phone up, send this to somebody. We're getting ready to get into why curiosity is an essential ingredient for intimacy. Off the rip, as my Tika would say.
Mm-hmm.
Off the rip,
Okay.
can you think of, before we list these ingredients that are under curiosity, can you think of the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about curiosity in our relationship?
I think curiosity, when I think about that word concerning our relationship, the first thing that comes to mind is me investigating more about you. Like me being curious. Like what's
did we
under
get
the
wrong
surface?
with that? What did we get wrong? Tell them something we got.
What did we get wrong?
Yeah.
Assuming. I think the opposite of curiosity in a relationship is an assumption. Because I can assume that I know something about you, but if I become curious about you, then I'm going to investigate. I'm going to start probing. I'm going to start asking questions. I'm going to start watching and kind of paying attention a little more to get some questions answered. Now, if I'm assuming, then I'm just going to be like, oh, he always, or, that's him. He just, and then it becomes boring. But to me, curiosity kind of like lights a fire of like, oh my God, I want to know. So it kind of creates another level of passion and it creates like excitement. Like, ooh, what else do I not know?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
This is good.
What's around the corner?
This is good. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that it adds a new flavor.
Mhm.
Like, okay, y'all always laugh. Get ready to laugh. Y'all gonna keep.
I'm going to laugh. Yeah.
Been with somebody double-digit years. 18,
You
17,
better be
16,
able to laugh
15.
with them, yo.
Quarterback numbers. If you can't,
What's a quarterback?
like, low numbers.
Oh, okay.
If you're with someone
Mhm.
and those individuals or that individual that's in relationship with you is smiling, there has to be a level of curiosity because, I want to cuss so bad. It's too early to cuss. This can get redundant and boring. And there's an episode that we're going to cut called
Dang.
Marriage, the Prison.
Ooh.
What do they call it? Marriage, the Prison. So we're going to talk incarcerated in marriage
There you go. That's what we said.
because routine can become so routine and so boring. The same way you go. That's why we go out of town, because we want to mix it up. But we there, and we're humans and we're normal, and there's an aspect of humanity that
Wants a
lives on
routine.
routine
Right.
in a sense of autopilot. But your relationship can also get into an autopilot, and that's when stuff starts getting boring. That's when people start looking outside of their marriage
For some
for
spice.
that cat that we was just talking about. That had them curious. Wait, this cat don't do something. My cat. But if you would just be curious, they all the same. So anyway,
God.
so let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Under curiosity, we have asking questions, digging deeper,
Mm.
trying new things. You
Mhm.
said that.
Mhm.
Brainstorming together,
Love that.
seeking to understand, and exploring inner wounds. Read it one more time. Under curiosity, we have
I agree.
asking questions, digging deeper,
Yes.
trying new things, brainstorming together,
Mhm.
seeking to understand, and exploring inner worlds.
Okay, so you know something else that I think is really cool about curiosity
What?
is that if you get curious about your partner, it can also open a door for you to start looking introspectively
Mm-hmm.
and remembering things that you were curious about that you just put away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
kind of works for both.
Okay, so number one, I want you to tell me what you think about this or what comes to
Okay.
your mind. We're talking about the aspect of asking questions.
Ask me a question.
And that was, let me make sure I'm right. That was the first one.
It was.
Okay, let me keep my notes right. Yeah, so under asking questions,
Mhm.
we wrote that something that couples often miss is that they ask questions, or they ask confirming questions,
Wow.
not discovering questions. You
Right.
said that earlier.
Mhm.
Why is it important to ask discovering questions and
Right.
not confirming questions
Right.
when you with somebody?
Okay, so what we have a tendency to do when we start asking questions, we trying to prove an argument that we didn't already had on the inside of our brain. But when you ask a question to discover something about that person, you're curious. So you're like truly like engaged and locked in because you want to know, like, tell me more. And when you do that, it really creates this just this genuine dialogue between the two of you guys, and it opens up another level of intimacy. So to me, it totally makes sense that it's an ingredient for intimacy because it just allows this safe space that most of us don't experience in our day-to-day life when we're engaging with everybody else in the world.
So, like an example of that would be if you came home from work
Mhm.
and you had an attitude or you were frustrated.
Right.
If I were to assume that
Mhm.
you are mad because of work,
Right.
I just asked a confirming question.
Right. Like you had a bad day at work.
There you go. Instead of inquiring, okay, if you did have a bad day at work,
Mhm.
what did that bad day at work bring up for you?
Right.
What so I think that, to your point, when we ask a confirming question,
Right.
we're not giving that other individual space to articulate,
Mhm.
this is why I have this emotion.
Right.
This is why I'm displaying this feeling, this emotion.
Okay, I got to give an example for the
Alright.
people. So I can say, "Oh, did you have a bad day at work?" That's a confirming question. You know, you're going to say yes or no. Or I could say, "You seem kind of tense today, babe. Tell me about your day. What happened?" Now that's open-ended. So you can go anywhere you want to go with that to explain as much or as little as you want to. And if they're still vague, then the follow-up question is, "Can you tell me more about that? Like, how did that impact you? Were you feeling like this now?" Just saying.
So, and again, I think we said this at the last part of episode or part 2,
Mhm.
and I think we need to add it to this one.
Okay.
If an individual is checked out
Well,
of their relationship,
well, it's like the library. If you check a book out, it's not available anymore. Okay? You got to wait till somebody turns it back in before you can check it out.
true, and because you're probably not going to ask a question of curiosity.
Right. If you checked out.
If you're going to ask a question, even if you know the person is lying. Now, women, y'all, no, we're not against the men versus women, but I got to do it men versus the women. When women
Tell us.
catch a man in a lie,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just catching that man in that lie,
Mhm.
they begin to ask more questions
Mhm.
to allow that man to further the lie.
Or to allow that man an opportunity to stand on business and be honest and say, you know what, babe,
What did Ryan
now
Davis
that
say?
I'm
So what
thinking
were you doing
about,
at James's house?
okay,
Now you already know the man is lying
wasn't
about where
at
he was
James'
at.
house. But since you're gonna tell me you at James' house, tell me exactly what y'all did.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that.
No, it ain't.
So anyway, if you're
It's an
checked
opportunity
out,
for truth.
if you're checked out, if you don't
Yes.
want this man, if you don't want this woman,
Mhm.
if you're not trying to build, if you are somewhere else and you're not planning on coming back to this relationship,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't be watching this by now. But if you are,
If by chance you are.
these questions are for individuals that are in relationships
Mhm.
that want to build it,
Right.
that want to invest in it.
Yeah.
We're talking about intimacy.
Yes.
So anyone who's watching this has a desire to cultivate, to build intimacy using these ingredients.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to put that out there. So let's
This
finish.
is good. There
So
you go.
digging deeper, I love this one. We
Dig,
might, I don't know how we're gonna get off of this one.
dig a little bit.
One thing that I think that couples miss is that they stop at emotions and never get to the meaning. We deal a lot with what we see on the surface because it's easier.
Mhm.
It doesn't require investigation.
Yes.
But every behavior has an origin.
Well,
And most of the time, what we are talking about is not the root cause of what we're really feeling.
come on and say that. See what 18 years of dealing with a hellraiser do?
18.
He didn't just learn.
Oh, you talking about me?
I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
I can be in my feelings sometimes, and he done learned how to just calm me on down. Like, all right, now
Because
you hungry?
if you think about an iceberg,
You need some water.
an iceberg is only 10% visible.
That's right.
The other
90
90%
under the
is
water.
underneath the water.
That's
So
very
it
true.
is in our conversations, in our feelings,
Yeah.
in our interactions with
Mhm.
each other. Oftentimes, what we are presenting on the surface,
Mhm.
there's a whole world underneath there.
Right.
And if you care to look underneath, you will find out
Right.
what's underneath there.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to rush, if you're trying to do a rush job, if you're checked out, if you are so in your routine,
Yes.
hey, how you doing? Doing good. Fine. Bye. All right. Hi. Thank you. Bam. We're out of here. We're not going to get to the meaning, and we're
Yeah.
not going to get to intimacy.
Right.
Intimacy creates longevity.
That's right.
I don't know people who are together for long periods of time that enjoy one another. Let me say it again.
Because there is a difference,
Because just
baby.
because you have been together for a long time doesn't mean that it's enjoyable. I know some people who are doing some prison sentences
Oh,
in their relationship, and just because they've been together a long time doesn't mean that it's not taking a
Well-
negative toll on their mental.
what he said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do the blood work. So if you're going to be together for an extended period, if we're going to do life together, if
Yeah.
we meant the vows,
Yeah.
then you can't. I don't know who's doing it without intimacy and they're enjoying it.
All right. I'm just
This
saying.
joy that I have.
The world didn't give it.
Come on now. So we're able to. Someone said to me the other day, y'all laugh, y'all smile, y'all
Mhm.
joke. Like, I love the platform because the love that you have for one another is oozing out.
Mm.
Now that's why we got these cameras on. Because it wasn't always like that.
Listen,
This
baby.
has been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
But
It's been a roller coaster.
so when we talk about ingredients, so let's do digging deep. Why don't you do digging deep?
Digging deeper.
Oh, we said that. So couples stop at emotions and never get to meaning.
Mhm.
So
I think a great example of that is like I can present as like stern or just kind of standoffish. The minute you scratch the surface, you be like, "Oh, she just a teddy bear."
I told somebody the other day, I said, you might have to fight, Brittany. You might have to, depending on how y'all meet, depending on, if
Yes.
you a server at a restaurant and you got the order wrong, you might have to fight her.
Okay, not too
Brittany, don't
much.
play about them. Don't play about
I
them.
really despise poor customer service
Yeah.
in any
So if
atmosphere.
you want to be Brittany's friend, you might, it depend on
I want to hear this. What you got to do if you want to be Brittany's
if you
friend?
want to be Brittany's friend, you might have to wrestle her down and show her I'm really down. Cause she don't do social media. So you're not gonna inbox and be able to be. You gonna have to run. You gonna have to run into her face to face or with me, and her battery gotta be charged up.
Oh my God.
She don't do a whole lot of new stream. But who is that? That's my friend. So I'm like,
Okay, listen. Now, this is what is so funny about this dynamic, right? I used to be the social butterfly, and he used to be antisocial, like hated small talk. When I say hated, he'd be like, if we were going somewhere, all right, you go through this door, or you leave 5 minutes before me, and I'm gonna meet you in the car, or I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then you just meet me in the car. Like he had a game plan on how we was gonna get out of talking to anybody after any event.
I'm healed. I'm healed.
Oh, he's been delivered, okay?
I am healed.
Cause now, baby, I'm gonna be sitting down somewhere.
I'll be kicking.
Cause he gonna be kicking
Hey,
in
how's
for
your
about a
wife?
good
How's your
hour
baby?
after an event.
How's your baby's daddy?
He be like, "You ready, babe?" If I see him walk up to anybody else, I just go on and sit down. Cause baby, he about to talk for a whole nother hour, and I don't want to shut that off because he was so closed off for so long, and I wanted him to be social, but he has become so social. I'd be like, "Well, baby, we both don't need to be that social."
I'm
You
socializing.
talking to the both of us.
I'm socializing like I'm running for mayor.
Do you
Okay.
hear me?
I'm
He about to be the
everybody.
next president, baby. Okay.
I'm holding babies. I'm petting dogs.
Yes. And oh my God, you're crazy stuff. Okay, so and I feel like life has happened. Like we've lived through a lot of like very, very traumatic things. So I am very just like protective of the people that I love. Like I'm a pit bull, baby. So until I know you safe, just know I got my eye on you. Like
I'm trying to tell you. Didn't I tell you? A pit bull got the ears clipped and a tail clipped too.
You okay? Not too much. Not too much.
With a chain around his neck.
But here is the really, really, really beautiful thing about it. I would say a Rottweiler, because a Rottweiler is a really sweet dog, but it's very, very protective. But if they know like you down, like, oh, my family like you, all right, come on, you part of the family too. Like once I get to know you and I know you a solid person and you ain't on no hully gully.
Can't beat your way with a stick.
Yeah, you got me.
Didn't I tell you you're gonna have to wrestle her? You have to just wait a while.
You don't have to wrestle. I wouldn't even say you have to wait a while because I am very, very observant. I normally just watch. I watch how people engage with you and I'd be like, all right, they seem cool. Or just the way that people communicate. Like if you're just gonna be honest, real, and down to earth, baby, you gonna have my heart after the first night. I'm just saying. Like Caleb's wife, I love his wife. I think she's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I left the restaurant the first night I met her and was like, "Oh, I can hang out with her. Yeah, she down to earth. That's my type of person." So it really, you ain't got to beat me down with no stick. Just be you. Like I totally am that person. If I know you are showing up authentically as you are, to me it doesn't matter what that looks like. I can receive you because I just want you to be you. I don't like when people be putting on. Don't put on.
You be on all day. You don't want to be on your private
putting
time.
on. Don't come to the table with a mask on. Just be you.
Come on.
I just gave y'all the cheat codes. I'm just saying.
You really did.
I really did.
Listen.
Most people don't know, but I gave y'all the cheat codes.
So let me add this to digging deeper. This is my soapbox for the episode. I'm not gonna say nothing else. We're gonna roll through these. No, I'm good. We good. This episode is sponsored by Mike and Ike. So,
y'all, that's my candy, by the way, but it's all right.
Yeah, I went in her stash and got those. Okay, let me you hear me out. When we talk about digging deeper, we mentioned last episode. Someone posted a comment about communication to your reel.
Yeah.
When we talk about digging deeper, we have to talk. One of the main reasons why I think that communication still remains to be like an essential component to relationships is because we are constantly changing.
Come on.
Our goals, our wants, our fantasies are changing. Did you see my glass? I wish I had some.
I saw you. He wanted to go like this, y'all.
I did. I just didn't have them on. They're changing.
Yeah.
And what happens when we don't take the time in curiosity to dig deeper. That
Loose here. Come on. Loose here. Ooh, glory.
to dig deeper,
Yes.
I could change
Huh.
from the last time we had a serious conversation.
Mm.
And what happens in a lot of relationships is that you begin to change
Mm-hmm.
and I begin to change and we
Mhm.
begin to desire different things that don't align with
Mm-hmm.
the version that you thought I was and the version that I thought you were.
Yeah.
So we call it growing apart, but I think that it is really a byproduct of not asking deep, digging questions
Right.
in curiosity.
Yeah.
So this is why affairs and
Mhm.
stuff on the side happens.
Yeah.
But when you're 18 years in, I ain't got no time for no affair.
We implemented, man, how many years ago was that? We started on purpose, like, okay, our kids have to have a bedtime at this time specifically. And really, more so than them needing the sleep that they needed to be fresh for the morning, it was we needed to have uninterrupted time where we could just talk to each other. Not like, all right, we're just getting in the bed, I'm gonna put you to sleep, you're gonna put me to sleep. No, let's sit down and just talk to
Go ahead.
let's just sit down and talk to each other. So we would go to the porch. The porch became like our safe haven. So we would go outside after we, tidied up the house, the kids are asleep. We would sit on the porch and just catch up with each other. How was your day? How are you doing? Where you at? How you feeling? Let's do a check-in. Did you see anything that piqued your interest today? Did I see anything that piqued my interest today? Okay, well, what are we doing about that? What did that make you feel like? Why did it pique your interest? Is there something more that I could be doing? Okay, not too much.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what you're saying is so key
Yeah.
because I was talking to someone today
Mm-hmm.
and they made a statement and they said, I need to be able to say what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling.
Come on.
Not that I'm going to act on it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I need to say something to someone who I know I can say it to
Mm-hmm.
that won't see me different,
Mm-hmm.
that won't feel about me different,
Mhm.
so I don't end up acting it out.
Okay, can I tell it?
Tell it.
I can tell it. Okay, let me tell it.
Air it out. What I
Let
don't
me
know
tell
what
it.
it is, but I'm ready.
So these little females at my husband's job, they be trying it. But it's okay, because listen, right here is secure. Anyways, these little females at my husband's job, they be trying it. Trying it. You see that face? Trying it. Mm-hmm. So this one girl decides she gonna proposition
Not as many
him.
as you think.
Anyways, somebody posted online talking about go to his location because the men there is so fine. Anyway, so the women at his job be trying it. I said what I said. I told y'all I can be a pit bull when I need to be. Yeah, don't y'all?
Oh, they did. That's
Okay.
true. That's true. I
So-
forgot about that.
This lady is like flirting with him, right? She don't even know that he coming home telling me like, hey, this lady came today. She said, whoop, whoop, whoop. We laughing about it because we talk about everything. Like, it ain't a big deal. So she propositions him one day. He comes home and tells me.
Wow.
She comes back and he goes, oh yeah, I told my wife. Ain't seen her since. Now, help me understand. What was the real expectation? She thought she was just gonna be a secret.
You want no?
She wanted to be a secret.
We gonna talk about it tonight.
Did she want to be a
She
secret?
did,
Okay.
and she would have been down if she was a secret, but
But-
she wouldn't have been down if it was knowledgeable.
I'm just saying.
Now I just gave you a hat, fellas.
But here is the beauty of number one, being mature enough in your relationship to handle the truth of what your partner is encountering in a day-to-day. Because he couldn't control that woman from coming. He gotta work where he working because he want to provide for his family. Now somebody crazy would say, nah, he need to get a new job. He need a transfer. That is foolish. Okay, that's very foolish.
And then I ain't.
I didn't get with him because I thought he was ugly. I got with him because I knew the man is fine. Number one. Number two, he can't control someone else's behavior. So you're speaking to how immature you are in your relationship if you mad about somebody else's reaction. If somebody hit on me during the day, he ain't gonna be mad about it. Now he gonna make sure I'm taken care of. He gonna make sure ain't nobody trying to pull up on me in a crazy way. But he ain't gonna be mad at me. He ain't gonna be like, well, it's cause you wore such and such. It's cause you did. It ain't my fault. He didn't get with me because he thought I was ugly. He got with me why?
Turn it around.
Okay, yeah.
Because what's behind you is better than what's ahead
That's
of
the
you.
only reason. Is that really the only
I saw
reason?
it first.
Yeah,
That's why I
because
saw
you was at the back of the building, I was at the front of the
You
building.
threw me off. I was gonna say something. You threw me off. Hey, you threw me all the way off tonight.
Oh, you sweating? Don't sweat.
No, I'm
baby.
good.
Don't sweat.
No, don't I have something good to say on that? It's true. No, I
See, every
forgot
now
about
and then
that.
I
It's
gotta-
true. Oh, I was at the gym one time.
Mm.
Now I'm gonna tell you how guys. Sometimes we ain't, but I told her I'm at the gym. I'm working out. Young lady comes up to me and says, "Hey, listen, my friend thinks she's cute, and she wants to know like if you're taken, if you sing." I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm
Mhm.
married," and I was like, "What she look like? Which one?" She looked at me like, "What?" I was, I was just bullshit.
Mary.
She looked at me like, "Nigga, what?" I was like, nah, I'm just okay. So, right enough, I still got it. Yeah. What she look like? She looked at me with this look of disgust, like, what she look like? I wonder what I'm throwing back. So, digging
We
deeper,
would have talked about it anyways.
we change so often. Like, you
Yeah.
think about how many times you change your mind.
Yes.
How many times you have a change of thought, a change
We
of heart.
change our clothes a couple times a day. Let's just stop. We can just stop right there. We get dressed for work. We come home, shower, take, change. You change multiple times a day. And somebody gonna talk about you if you ain't showering and changing your clothes. Wear the same thing every day and watch how many people notice and be like, "Did you have that on?"
Well,
It's an expectation for you to look different, for you to present yourself differently.
one of the things that I think is important before we move from digging deeper is
Mhm.
that there sometimes is a fear that going deeper will open something that they don't know how to handle. That if we have a conversation and I dig a little deeper, I might hit something or discover something that is too big for me to handle.
Mhm.
That opens up a can of worms that shakes our normalcy.
Mhm.
So I understand that, like in couples, especially if there's water under the bridge,
Yeah.
you may not have the tools,
Mhm.
you may not have the emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
you may not have the time. There may be already some other pressing issues
Mhm.
that, like your housing, like how are we going to make ends meet?
Mhm.
Baby mama, baby daddy, childcare,
Mhm.
etc. But when we get to the point of our relationship where we're ready to build intimacy, we did one episode talking about storm proofing your relationship.
Yeah.
That even when things are good, you must have
The hard
deep
conversation.
and hard
Yeah.
conversations so that when the wind blows, it's not destroying everything that you've built.
Listen,
Does that make sense?
it does.
So,
We often say, or you often say,
what?
if you in the newspaper, what you gonna be in the newspaper for? Or if you go to jail, what would you go to jail for?
Okay, yeah.
I already know.
All right.
And if it's something crazy, I'd be like, oh
He
no,
didn't do
that
it.
ain't
He
him.
didn't do it.
Now I know what crimes he would do, but baby, best believe I know what he won't do.
He's
Not the
squeaky
you know
clean.
the commercial.
Come on. Now, that's a good point about crime.
Mm-hmm.
This also came up in a conversation earlier today that if you have repressed
Come on, say
what
that.
it is you want, what it is you think, what it is you feel, listen to me, Smalls.
Huh? It's
It
coming out.
can and will come out. The question is when it comes out, will it come out as a crime? Will it come out in an inappropriate time? Will it come out and harm your family, harm your community? Or when it comes out, does it come out in a safe, controlled environment? Juanita Bynum, as Juanita Bynum is said something that I heard what she was saying behind what she was saying. And what the prophetess was saying is,
What was she saying?
there's a time
And a
and a
place.
place
Come on.
for it all.
For it all. That's what she said.
You can wear a bikini on the beach, but you can't wear one to church.
Huh?
Same body.
Now you can.
You can,
But they gonna talk real
Right.
crazy about you. But on the beach, baby, they expect
Now
it.
at the gas station, they have a sign at the 7-Eleven that says no shirt, no shoes,
No service.
service.
Mhm,
But if you go to a water park, if you go to the beach of the swimming pool, it's normalized. So some things that are appropriate over here
That's right.
might not be appropriate over here.
That's right.
The wisdom is knowing what time it is. But if you're in the safety of your relationship,
Come on, say it.
what?
If you
Oh, if you're in the safety of your relationship,
yeah.
that person that you're with can not only be your partner, but they
Mhm.
can also aid you in facilitating
Mhm.
what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Come, let us reason together. That's what the Bible says.
Listen.
So 2 is still better than 1. That's also Bible. I'm on a Bible roll tonight. And a friend is born for adversity. I'm 3 for 3
All
tonight.
right, all right.
So in your
Still
relationships,
got it.
whether platonic or romantic,
Yeah.
we need to dig deeper to find out who we're laboring among. I'm
That's
4
right.
for 4.
Well, but also then people feel safe enough to be their authentic self and they can lay down the facade, they can lay down the mask because now they know, like, oh, you're not trying to embarrass me, you're not trying to shame me, you're not trying to belittle me. You just really want to know me.
We gonna dig in deeper tonight.
Okay.
Now,
Same.
let's say if what you desire, there's a lot of examples we can use, but let me just
Mhm.
use the one that comes to the top of my mind based on
Okay.
my day today.
Okay.
If what you desire or feel or need, I'm sorry,
He about to say something about sex, y'all.
has a level of taboo to it, which simply means that you get a certain high or attraction to doing something that you're not supposed to be doing.
Church people the worst. Cause they got so many rules and regulations
Now,
about how you supposed to be saved.
Mike, I'm gonna get a soapbox next time.
Listen,
Have you
cause I'm gonna just hop on it. Instead of telling people just to follow the way of Christ, we want to give people a laundry list of rules and regulations. After we seduce them in, well, oh, Jesus loves you. Just come
You
on.
gonna do this?
Then as soon as you get over here, and nigga, you better not do
Oh
this,
my
and you
God.
better not do this,
Oh
or
my
you better
God.
not do this, or you're gonna bust hell open. That is not Christ's way. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. That's my 2 cents. That's me jumping on my soapbox. I'm gonna jump back off of
Next, we're
it.
gonna have a soapbox and let you put your feet up.
But that's why taboo is so prevalent among believers because there's so many rules and regulations. Let me just tell you this. When we stop being so rigid and rule based with our children, the things they tell us, baby, would probably make your toes curl. But here is the beauty of it. They feel safe enough to come to their mama and their daddy and tell them. When I say we be knowing the tea, we be knowing everybody's business. All the teenagers. All the teenagers. No, but seriously, but they know that we're safe. So although we know that information stays right here between us and them. So they continue to trust us and it's building stronger and stronger because we've allowed them a safe place. And I said that because that's what you want in your relationship
Intimacy.
with your partner. That's what you want in your platonic relationships. If they are truly relationships, you want that person to feel like they can come to you and be free.
And say whatever it is.
Say whatever.
Someone told me today I was having lunch with a pastor, and he said to one of his spiritual sons, "I can't love you anymore,
Mm.
and I can't love you any less."
Come on.
I said, did that hit me? I'm sitting at the table about to holler over my Alfredo. I said, oh, that is gone. I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
What he's saying is,
No matter what,
my love
it's the same. Come on, be consistent. This is what I love. When one of the kids come to me and they go, Mama, I already know you proud of me, but today I got this or I did this. And I'm like, yes, I'm about to cheer you on. I'm your cheerleader. I'm about to celebrate you. But I love that they lead off with saying, I already know. Because we tell them it's not about the accomplishments. Just because you are mine, I am proud of you.
Yep.
It's the same thing in a relationship.
Yep.
Same
I
thing.
love that. So digging deeper is essential.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna talk about intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to ask questions
Dig a
out
little
of curiosity,
Mhm.
not an assumption,
Yes.
but I really want to know
Mm-hmm.
because there's things about me you're still finding out.
That's what Joe
after
said. He
18
wanted
years
to know.
with Joseph.
Mm.
I'm calling Joseph. I'm calling Joe. There's things about you
Mhm.
I'm still finding out
Right.
after 18 years. So
Yeah.
there's not this place that we get to where we just say, I just know so and so, like the back of my hand, because
And you might know things that they enjoy or like the back of your hand, but it doesn't mean that they haven't evolved and changed in areas.
there's a show, I saw a clip of it where they're asking spouses
Mhm.
questions based on a lie detector test.
Ooh,
And they asking, did you marry this person for money? Have you ever had an affair? Have you ever enjoyed a massage? If you did, you ever have you ever been aroused by a regular massage at a massage parlor?
wow.
And the wife is answering the questions, and every time she's answering the question, the husband is on the side. I mean, just tearing his behind up. So anyway,
But that's how you know that they haven't been living in a level of truth and communicating or digging deeper into their relationship. Because that shouldn't be a surprise. You should already know. I ain't about to be surprised. I'm gonna be sitting there like,
That's
with
him.
my little popcorn. That's it.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got this. We gotta finish.
Okay. Trying new things.
Go ahead.
What couples miss? They limit this to sex or activities and ignore emotional novelties. One partner becomes the initiator and the other the gatekeeper.
So you pause right there.
Well,
We got now. This is not specifically about.
it's not limited to that.
There you go. Now, why is that? Have you seen that with us? Have you seen that with different couples that there's one person who is
Yes.
the initiator
Yes.
of trying new things,
Mhm.
and there's another person who is the rule keep. We got
Right.
If we don't finish this tonight, we gotta we gotta air this part out because
Okay.
there's a lot of couples who are watching this
Mhm.
in the bed or
Mhm.
driving, and you know which one you identify as, and you
Mm.
know which one your partner
Hopefully,
identifies as.
because some people be in denial about this,
Mm.
but hopefully you know which one. Hopefully you know which one you are. But yeah, normally there is an initiator and there's another one that's like more guarded. But
Okay, talk to, but go ahead.
I think that it's amazing that trying new things falls under the topic that we're in today,
Mhm.
simply because you really have to dig deeper because a lot of times the initiator was a curious kid.
Mm.
And the gatekeeper is somebody who is more so like the rule follower and wanted to like just be perceived as I'm a good kid, I'm a good kid. The other one kind of had a wild streak and was kind of like, I just want to figure out what this world has. And the other one's like, no, but mom said that at 4:45 I needed
Tommy
to
and
be
Chucky.
sitting. Yeah, I needed to be sitting here on the couch. And then Tommy is like, come on, Chucky, we can have fun. You know,
I
like
remember that.
so classic episode of Rugrats.
Now,
Classic.
based on what you just said,
Mhm.
in reference to the initiator
Yeah.
and the gatekeeper,
Mhm.
the digging deeper question would be, what lifestyle,
Hmm.
what home environment were you raised in that
Mhm.
you felt the need or felt the requirement
Yeah.
that you had to be?
Sometimes it's not home.
Okay.
Sometimes it's what church did you belong
You gonna
to?
do this.
Yeah, I have to.
All right.
And okay, I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm saying this. So for us specifically, because this is what we go off of, we share our story. We're very transparent. John's mom was very open, very free. Like we jokingly say she was a hippie, and she'll tell you herself, "Yeah, I'm a hippie." But because he truly, like in his heart of heart, believed everything that he was told inside of church and he took it at face value,
I follow the rules.
yes, he was definitely a rule keeper. So that really kept him from just life and exploration as a teenager. So sometimes some of the questions that I'm asking him because I have that knowledge now. But before I had that knowledge, it took some digging. Like, okay, wait. I'm looking at your mama. Your mama is not rigid. She looked like she was probably like, go on and go to that party. Go ahead and go have a good time. So this was my question. What made you not do it then?
You want to know
You
a
had the
live
no,
answer?
no, I'm just saying you had the freedom. So what kept you kind of boxed in anyways? Because most teenagers are like, man, I wish my mama would tell me yes. Oh, if my mom would have told me yes, I would have been doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But for you, your mom told you yes, and you were still like, oh no, mama, you tripping. I need to be right here in this box. Why are you trying to get me out the box, mama? I need to be right here in this box. Exactly. For you, it was church. So when I bring up church sometimes, it's not really because it's something personal for me, because I wasn't churched to like that growing up. Like I know about the institution of church. I did go to church, but church was not like a governing factor in my home. That's the best way I know how to say it.
The elector.
We went to church because we knew we was supposed to, but at the house, wasn't nobody browbeating me with the Bible says this and you better do this or you're going to hell. That was not the narrative at my home.
I love it.
So for me, I just was able to kind of discover life and figure out what was going on. Like for me as an individual, for that reason.
And here you are sitting on this couch with a completely different storyline of your husband. And here we are together.
Okay, 18 years ago.
And there was like, and there are dynamics. You got to hear this, y'all.
Yeah.
There is a dynamic of our relationships where one of us is the initiator,
Yeah.
and the other one is the gatekeeper, depending on the subject.
That's true. But let's just keep it a buck. I am normally the initiator. He is normally the gatekeeper because he was definitely the rule follower and I was free spirited. I am very much like his mother in that way. I can be a hippie to my core.
I thank God for your hippie ways.
Okay.
I thank God for hippies.
I'm just open-minded and I don't feel like you should box anybody in. I just think that that's terrible. I think you miss out on meeting genuine people by trying to box them in. That's why I'm so observant.
Now let me give you praise on this one. I don't know if we're going to finish.
Oh, Lord.
Because really, they're worth, and I think that every gatekeeper, there's a level of this in the relationship. You marry the person that you married, whether you knew it or not.
Well,
opposites attract. It's called balance, is what we call it now.
Yin and yang.
But there are some things that I would have never tried, trips I would have never taken, places that I would have never gone.
What the young people say? You do it like this.
Clock it. There are just some experiences that
we got teenagers.
I was terrified because I didn't feel like I was grown. I felt like how God was presented to me, that God was in heaven watching me on the TV screen like, no.
Baby, we got that passport. I put that behind in that water. He been living life ever since.
And I'm trying to get there now. So I appreciate God in you pushing me and initiating, because it introduced me to another level of freedom.
Come on.
That I don't know I would have found on my route. I can't do it tonight. So like, you have been Billy Badass in some season. I was like, I don't
Felicia.
safe. Like
not Billy, I'm
Felicia.
Oh
no, Tommy. And I was like, okay, you go first. And then if you don't get struck down, then I'm gonna go after you.
And baby, trust and believe, I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, I hit the water side, and I was like, word.
You just floating out there. I am. Come on.
Yeah, and I was like, well, if she gonna live, literally, if you're going to live, then I'm gonna live.
And now he has probably surpassed me in some areas. Because, baby, when you did the cliff jump, I was like, oh.
I'm gone.
I'm black in real life. I don't do them kind of things.
I'm not getting out here until this is my time.
You was just like, whoop. I was like, oh, that's really high up.
Come on now. Keep them safe. Somebody said, I've never seen fall from the sky. I said, you've never been to VIP.
Oh my God. He ain't kidding.
I've never been in VIP, but I seen it fall from VIP. I'm like, man, it do fall from the sky. If somebody throw it out, they will. You have to. So
you need help.
So
you need help.
I think that I'm speaking for the gatekeepers.
Right.
We appreciate. Now we might talk crazy. Y'all might spend money for, there might be some things that y'all do.
Yeah, we can definitely learn from both sides.
There you go. That's all I'm saying. So I just wanted to speak to the fact that
I'm the spontaneity.
I appreciate, and I have received that impartation of spontaneity.
Yeah.
And I'm Mr. Spontaneity himself.
I'd be like, hold on, wait. We gonna have fun, baby.
I'm outside all 2026. I'm trying to go everywhere, meet everybody. I want to walk with the monks. I want to do it all.
Come on. We're trying to see pyramids and walk with monks this year.
I want Black History Museum. I want to be outside, downtown, everywhere.
And we be snatching our kids up too. They be like, what? And then at the end of the day, they be like, oh, that was fun.
No.
Yeah, come on.
So I made this statement on our private session. I said, this year my theme is going to be ... and I preach.
Huh.
I do this, comedy, the vlog,
So
community
mine is gonna be
activism,
dot dot dot,
humanitarianism,
and I'm a nurse.
and I'm a nurse.
Boom.
And you and
And I'm a nurse.
I do this,
Yes.
and
And come on, I love it.
it's not just one thing.
That's right.
So when we're talking about trying new things, and I'm sure you appreciate the times in our relationship when I was the reserved one, and let's think about this, and let's wait a while, and don't do me like that.
Okay, the reserve, I don't know, but the practical is always needed. Cause baby, I have learned so much from this man that has really helped balance me as a person. So we ain't gonna front like you ain't contributed, because you definitely have
On
contributed
that
to who I
nervous
am.
system. Sometimes you need somebody who's just a
Yes.
Capricorn, just calm you down.
Definitely brought peace to my nervous system.
Them scap-
I do not have to live in flight or fight. I can definitely just be calm, easygoing. I'm living my soft life over here, y'all.
Now, those of you who acknowledge that there are distinctive personality differences and traits based on the time and the season that you were born, Brittany's a Capricorn.
Lies and fairy tales. I'm a
I mean,
Scorpio.
I'm
He,
a Capricorn.
a Capricorn.
So those Scorpios.
I'm a Scorpio to the core, baby. Please no. Please
She
no.
doesn't just have red hair.
I'm a Scorpio, dot,
Just to
dot,
have
dot,
red
and
hair.
I'm a nurse.
It's pathetic.
And, oh, dang, you didn't tell them how I came into the world. It's all right.
You want me to
That's
tell?
We'll save that.
Okay.
We'll save
I
that.
mean, we can have one of them episodes.
We'll
So let's
save
we'll
that.
get through these last ones quick. So I wanted to make one partner becomes the initiator,
Mhm.
and the other one becomes the gatekeeper, and they
Right.
assume that curiosity ends once routines are established.
Mhm.
We have a routine, and within our routine,
Yeah.
simultaneously, we have time, we create time for
Right.
curiosity, because I will start dying on the inside if we do a routine. I got to spice it up.
Which is so funny because he presents as if he lives by routine.
Nah,
You present though like you live by routine,
I do.
but you really need spontaneity to fuel you.
I got to have. If
Mhm.
I don't have nothing to,
Yeah.
I'll fall asleep. Now, someone said, "I thought you were." They were asking me if I was a night person. I said, "I am a night person if I'm stimulated. I am."
He need constant
Yeah,
stimulation,
something's going
baby,
on
if he
in
gonna
those
be
ones.
awake at night. If not, he gonna be like this.
If the ones falling from the sky, I was.
You just stuck on that tonight.
I am. If live music is going on, we were at Retro at night.
Right.
Brian Jones and the band Cooley High from OKC. My spidey sense was on 12.
But they are like musical geniuses. That's a whole nother level. Like just to hear them.
Okay, that's what I'm
You
saying.
can hear them going to other places. And it's like, oh wait.
We were at Retro the other night. Brian Jones had his keyboard and his laptop set up on planet Jupiter and had a coax cable from Jupiter to Tulsa.
And we buckled up and took the ride, baby.
I was
He couldn't even sit in his seat.
I
He
had
was so
to stand
stimulated.
out. When I hear live music, I'm a fan
Right.
of good music.
We do love live music. Yeah.
So that stimulates me.
Mhm.
I love fashion.
Yes.
I love quartet music, gospel music, jazz, blues. I love it all. If
You
it's good
do.
music.
You do. Yeah. I have
We
to
went
see
to
that.
we off a ramp. We went to take someone who we love dearly to move them from Memphis.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
took a stop at BB King's
Come
restaurant.
on. And the way that man was picking that guitar, baby.
Guys.
It was like, ooh.
One of the best.
Hit
lead
that note
guitar-
one more time, sir.
So anyway, if the music is live,
Yeah.
if I'm stimulated
Mhm.
visually or is it
We'll stay
audible?
up. Yeah. We'll stay up. Yeah.
So anyway, okay, let's
Sure.
finish.
Okay.
So we got one more: brainstorming together, and then we have seeking to understand.
Yeah. Brainstorming.
Under
is really good.
brainstorming, we wrote down 3 things that couples miss when we're talking about brainstorming.
Okay, so brainstorming turns into problem solving or debate. That is not the point of brainstorming. Honestly, when you brainstorming, you want to give each other the freedom to just throw out as many ideas as possible, because you never know which idea will be the idea that y'all need. You know what I mean? So I think that the freedom of just tossing out stuff, sometimes we will be like belly aching laughing because we be like, what in the world? Now, where did that come from? But it's still good because then it could create another thought for you. Like, oh my God, well, you said this, but what if we do A, B, and C? So brainstorming is good because number one, I think that it builds like the friendship and the camaraderie and it enforces safety. Like, okay, I'm safe enough to tell you what I'm thinking. Like, I'm really, really, really safe enough to tell you what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then another thing that can be bad is ideas get shut down too quickly or logically. Like, girl, now how in the world we about to build a whole hospital? Instead of saying, I could really see you building a hospital. Now I know we can't do it right now. You know, it might be in 10 or 15 years, but like I know how much you care about people and how passionate you are about that. So let's put that on the shelf and keep adding information to that so that we can come back and revisit it. So that's a way to acknowledge a dream that somebody has that may seem massive and not shut them down all at the same time.
Oh, you need the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Power dynamics sneak in. One voice dominates. Ooh. Okay, so in every relationship, I truly and wholeheartedly believe this. There is one person whose voice is kind of a little more dominant than the other. In some relationships, it seems closer to 50-50. In other relationships, it may be 80-20 or 70-30 or 60-40. Some relationships might even be 90-10. Prayerfully, it's not the case, okay? But nonetheless, those dynamics will show up in conversations like that, and you'll start noticing one person is like just regurgitating all the things that they want to do, and the other person is just kind of sitting there like, okay, yeah, we can do that, yeah. But the beauty of a marriage or a relationship or a covenant or a partnership or friendships is that both people should have the freedom to dialogue back and forth. And just because you have 10 ideas and I only have 5 ideas, it doesn't mean that there's anything less about my 5 or there's anything more about your 10. They're both received, they're both welcomed, and we're going to dialogue about them both and see, okay, well, realistically, where we are right now in January of 2026, what can we accomplish? What can we tackle? Where can we go? Biggest thing, brainstorming builds intimacy when ideas are held without judgment. Ooh, I love that. It's not about solution, it's about co-creation. So it may be, you know, this has been on this person's heart for a long time, and now they finally believe in themselves enough to really execute it. Okay, so now I'm thinking, how can I support you best in that? How can I show up for you as a friend and as a partner to make sure that you're able to fully execute this? Because I want you to win just as much as you want to win.
Yeah.
And I know that you want me to win just as much as I want to win. So, of course, I'm going to be the wind underneath your wings because I know you're going to do the same for me.
Come on, fly.
Fly,
I don't have anything to add to that. I think that's good. I love the judgment part. Ideas held without judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one is seeking to understand. We wrote down that couples often miss that they think understanding means agreement. And we went through a very strong phase of trying to understand that just because one understands the other doesn't mean
That
they
we agree.
And I think that
Absolutely.
there's a lot of couples and even us got locked in that phase of our relationship where one needed the other one to acknowledge, to consider,
Yeah.
to validate. Like,
Right.
did you hear what I said? Even though you have your mind made up, no turning back. That's Milton Brunson. And you really hear what I'm saying to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Let me know that what I'm saying carries weight as the person that you
Yes.
married, that had your
Come
kids,
on.
that goes to work as an equal co-contributor
Yeah.
to this household, that, you know, if I died, things would change. So, you know, don't honor me. Give me my flowers while I'm living. That's what the old saints used to say. So I can smell the beauty.
Come
See
on.
the beauty. That
That's what they say.
So I think that seeking to understand goes back to a lot of what we said earlier. And that is, I don't have all the answers. And I
Right.
don't want to assume that I know all there is to know about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may sneak one in there there's been times that I think that she just didn't know what she was talking about on a subject, and she did something that came up with an idea, and I was like, wait a minute. Did you
Come on,
say
say that one
that?
time. Say it.
I don't want to repeat that. So
Your girl be knowing what she talking about most of the time.
if you believe that, this is the last point, if you believe that the union, that the relationship that you are in is God's will,
Come on.
that that is your person.
Right. Yeah. And you committed to that being your person and doing the work so that you can keep showing up for each other.
Now, if you checked out, but like
a library book, if you checked out, you ain't available. That's gonna be my saying.
So like we found something that we believe in this, even when it gets hard. Like
Yes.
I'm rocking with you.
Yes.
You rocking with me. We've got too much skin, and we got to see what the end gonna be.
Cause don't nobody get 18 years of my life and don't get to see what the end gonna be, baby. You stuck with me now.
Is that how you feel about it?
That's how I feel about it.
That's why she was going off on the girl who wrote the Facebook post about these got some.
Oh, I wasn't going off.
This post time.
Because I know my husband is fine. I'm just saying. He taken care of. Yeah, he taking care of over
They
there.
got good jobs too. Y'all better go. She was making a public
Hey.
for women to come to the
Post
station.
inviting everybody to his job. I said, what in the world?
I was like, how many likes it get? What they said?
And then there you go. That's your friend anyways. I said, what? No.
Hey, no. What they said in the comments? Hey, I was in the comments looking like, what? What did Jesus say? Oh, who do men say that I am? Who do women say that I am? Some say you are, but who do you? Okay. Oh, God.
Get yourself together.
So this has been good.
Get
This has
yourself
been good.
together.
And the last one, exploring inner worlds. That
Yeah.
simply means that what I said earlier about we change.
Yeah.
Things are constantly changing within you.
Yeah.
Things are constantly changing within the person that you're with.
A great way to discover someone's inner world is say, what are you dreaming about? What's your dreams? What's your aspiration? Tell me about it. Like, what's something you've always wanted to do since you were a child? That's how you can get into somebody's inner world real quick.
Well, let me add this to him. We got to close.
Come on in, Ed, as you eat my
If
snack.
there were no rules,
Woo! Now that's a good one. That is a good question.
if there were no rules,
What would you be doing, baby?
if there was no public
Scrutiny or judgment.
or judgment,
Yes.
it ain't talking about harming nobody either.
Yeah, no.
But if there were no rules, if there was no committee, if
Yeah.
there was no
No
Like,
judgment,
come
no
on.
shame, no embarrassment. What
where
would
you
be
going?
Come on.
What you doing? How you talking? What are you saying?
Yes,
And that question is such a inquisitive question
it is.
because it lets people have an opportunity
Yes.
to really. I
Think.
gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you. You already know. I asked a woman who was pastoring, single woman in her 50s,
Mhm.
that question. If you weren't pastoring,
Hmm.
she's miserable pastor. She doesn't want to do it anymore. She doesn't feel like that's her call. Well, I gotta send her this clip I thought about. I asked her this question: what would you do? Where would you go? Who would you go see? How would you travel? What would you do with your life? This woman in her 50s looked at me with tears in her eyes and she said, I don't know.
Jesus.
I never thought about it.
And that's crazy. If you've never allowed yourself to dream, you've never allowed yourself to just take off all of the rules and regulations, even if it's just for 30 seconds and say, okay, wait, if I didn't have to follow the guidelines of this thing that we call life, what would I be doing?
And the guidelines with her situation are guidelines that someone put on her
She didn't even ask for
that
it.
she just said yeah to. That is what
Baby.
brought me to tears. And I said within myself,
Woo, Jesus.
that ain't gonna be my story.
Huh.
These people who we're doing these guidelines for and this invisible Joneses.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, that's her.
That's my family name. Don't do that.
The Jeffersons.
Okay, come. Thank you. Cause don't come for the Joneses, baby.
When you close your eyes and enter on into the sweet by and by,
By and by.
it's just gonna be your immediate family. If not, if that much
You
on your last breath.
come on. If that much. That's good.
So when the story is told about my life, I want my children and my wife to know I lived.
That's
I lived
right.
authentically.
Yes.
I lived to serve others.
Yeah.
And I was free. Now I didn't
That's
start
right.
off. I started off free. Then I got tied up with some bull. But now
And you refound
I'm
freedom.
re-free. Okay, we gotta stop.
Praise
I
the
read
Lord,
this status
I'm
today
free.
that said nobody told me how amazing I was. I had to find that out.
Woo! Come on now. You better know that you amazing all by yourself, baby.
So amazing. So I know something about the God in me
That's right.
that promotes me to live.
That's right.
Now the Bible, if you just want to go Bible tonight, he said that I have come that you might have life
And life more abundant.
and life abundant, more abundantly.
Okay, come on, don't live off the more.
So I can't.
And we're living life more abundantly. And
Okay,
we
where's
beckon
our
you guys to come. Join us.
Now, if you
and
don't
live
want
more
to, just keep
abundantly.
watching from over there. Just keep enjoying the vlog. But
If
I'm
you
just gonna let
wanna
this
live.
lie to mine.
I gotta let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
You go to church. All right.
Not for me.
She heard that song secondhand. Okay, I had the robe on singing it. Verse 1 for everywhere I go, up and down the road.
And he right, because I did not have a robe on, baby, but I
Now,
still heard
okay,
the
Marcus, don't let
song.
me forget this. The Pentecostal version to this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, was predominantly saying Baptist. The Pentecostal counter to that too is take the Lord with you everywhere you go. You go. Oh no, I know what it is. Is I want to live so God can use me. Anyway,
You hear this church boy who married this harlot? What? You hear me?
what do you say?
You hear this church boy who married this harlot?
Oh God. Okay, the Baptist version of
All the church girls just knew they had you. He ended up with me, guys.
Jesus is on the main line. That's the
Tell him
Baptist
what
version.
you want.
The Pentecostal version is if you call on Jesus, he will answer prayer.
I don't know that song.
I know. Same song. Same song. Two different expressions. Marcus, I know you got back up on me on that. So yeah, I grew up I'm not gonna say the trenches because it was positive. It kept me out of trouble. I have
He
only
was deep
two
in the
children,
church. I was on the outskirts.
married to one wife because of my experience and involvement in the Lord's church.
But this is what is hilarious.
Don't do this to me.
I wasn't in the church like that, and I still have one husband, and my
Oh,
children are
I'm
by
gonna tell you
my
why.
dad.
Because your inner wirings are different than mine.
My what?
God knew that He didn't have to have
God
me.
knew you needed restrictions.
I did.
And the Lord knew that I could be free as a bird.
Okay, what is Romans 8? All things. Look,
Come on
I got to
now.
change
Ain't
now.
all things.
As I go to my seat, I come to tell somebody that all things.
Work together.
Okay, we say after every episode, at the end, that marriage.
It's for grown folks.
We hope we said something that inspired you, that sparked conversation.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
We love y'all.
See you.
Peace.